Hey everyone, on this week's Training Tuesday, we're going to be going over the 3-target transition accredited to Modern Service Weapon blog. Super simple drill to set up. We've got 3 IPSC targets 1 yard apart. Now you can shoot this at either 7 yards or 10 yards, depending on whether you're shooting with a handgun or a long gun. But one thing that's different than most of the ones that we've done so far, we're going to be obscuring these 3 targets with some no-shoot targets. I think no-shoot targets are very, very valuable. We might get into that later on in the video, again, really simple course of fire with 3 strings of fire, shooting 1 round into each target each time. Let's see how we can do. So this is going to be a super simple course of fire. It's going to be a total of 9 rounds, so we shouldn't need a reload with this 1911. So I've got my 3 targets there at 7 yards since we're doing it with a pistol. Since we're shooting for time, I'm going to run this twice. Once to set a standard, and then a second time to hopefully beat that standard with the same gun. So starting left to right. Okay, that was clean. 4-2-7 on that one. Start again here. 4-2-7. 3-7-7, and then now starting center, and then either target to go from there. All right, that was 3-7-8. Let me grab my cell phone so we can show you those targets without getting my expensive camera wet. All right, so you can see what's left of the A zone there, all clean. Nice and tight in the center there. And then all clean here. I'm gonna have to maybe staple that guy back up, but just barely touching the line on the left side, so all clean there. So I topped off, just so I have 9 rounds in the gun right now, 1 in the chamber plus 8 more. So let's try this again. We're going to try to go faster now. Since we were able to keep it all in the A zone, we know that that's a comfortable speed. Let's see if we can push it a little bit. Oh, too much. Too much. All right, so wide mic, but we were faster. 3-6-1. Let's see if we can't rein it back in. Actually, you know what? All right. So we were a little too quick, and I sent a round way off target on that left-hand side. So we'll try it again for realsies. Nope. All right, so we're doing it Russian style, so one of those hostages had to go. Let's try it again. 3-9-0, so we're going slower here. All right, so again, this is where it's apparent when you don't have as much familiarity with a manual of arms. With this 1911, getting around that beaver tail with gloves on especially, we'll touch on that more, but take some practice. All right, so again, this left-hand target clearly giving me issues. I got 1 into the hostage's head, and then 1 outside the A zone there on the left side. Again, center target, nice and easy. It was also the largest A zone left around the target. And again, right-hand target here with our dynamic hostage who keeps moving around because if he was in place, that 1 shot would have been hitting him, but again, with a dynamic hostage, courtesy of Oregon weather, we were still clean. So we learned 2 valuable things from this course of fire. A, I'm not sugarcoating my runs. You guys are seeing what I'm doing, with the exception of what happened last week, but that's a topic for another video. But that first run happened to be my cleanest, and I never practice a course of fire before I run it for you guys on camera. So I just happened to do fairly well on that first run through. Make sure it looked like the camera wanted to focus on something else. And I'm obviously the focal point. So the second run, tried to go way too fast, and gloves start coming into play, cranked off around safely downrange, but well off to the side and a high of my left-hand target. So kept the A zone for the rest of it, but we wanted to get another genuine run in, and again, still had some issues on the left-hand target, sending one into the head of the hostage. And since we are not Soviets or Russians running this drill, at least I'm not, that is not ideal. We don't want to be taking out hostages at the same time. So this is where I think it's vitally important to make sure that you're practicing in all environments with your various types of gear. A lot of guys have gloves on their kit, but very rarely actually run with gloves. And so especially in this case, with having this beaver tail, having this bigger web between my thumb and index finger, it was kind of getting hung up on that beaver tail as I was trying to come around, establish my grip, sweep that safety off. That's just the reality of running drills like this with extra stuff that you're not typically running. I don't shoot handguns at least enough in gloves. I shoot rifles plenty with gloves, but it's something we all need to practice. Same thing with jackets, especially if you're practicing drawing from concealment. You might be doing great in the summer with just a t-shirt, but are you practicing with your jackets? Is it something you can feasibly still do? So it is very important to actually get out in inclement weather like this and practice and make sure that you are still proficient regardless of what other stuff you have on. And if you wear gloves while you're out and about, you know, walking to and from the car, wear gloves when you're actually on the range, because you need to make sure that you're not adding any extra difficulty with what you're wearing on your daily basis. Not necessarily saying you have to 100% dress around carrying a gun, but make sure you can still use a gun if you're going to carry it in the various ways that you dress or other accessories that you wear. So do with that information what you will. Again, a really simple drill to set up. You need 7 yards in this case. It would have been 10 yards if we did it with a carbine. Fairly low round count. Again, this is something really easy to set up, guys, and something I think is valuable to be practicing, especially having no shoot targets downrange as well. I can get on a whole other rabbit trail about that, but having smaller targets, and not just a small target, but having no shoot targets on there as well, I think is a very valuable thing just psychologically to make sure that you are accountable for where those rounds are going. Again, unless you're rescuing hostages in Russia, maybe not as big of a worry, but at least here in the United States, something that we need to be paying particular attention to. So if you want to run this drill, please by all means do, or run any of the other drills that we've done so far on Training Tuesday. We will have a giveaway at the end of every month to anyone who uploads a video to either Instagram or YouTube and then sends it to myself and Drill Index. Very, very low participation, guys. So if you submit an entry, there's an exceedingly high chance that you're actually going to win one. Again, I can't force you guys to do it, but I think this is valuable to do. If you want to pick up a deck of cards like this for yourself, let me grab my box here. Again, super, super valuable kit, guys. It's only 30 bucks, also a great stocking stuffer. This is something that allows you to always be practicing something at the range. Instead of just mag dumping into trash, let's see if you can actually get some useful skills and test yourself against a measurable performance level so that you can see whether or not you're progressing, whether you're plateaued, whether you're decreasing in skill, et cetera, et cetera. So a valuable thing to be practicing, but as always, I hope you got something out of this video, and I appreciate you watching.